It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Tyrone Lowe, and this is my show, The Legends. And in the House of the Legends, I have somebody that I've known briefly, and she's like part of family with my production company. Welcome, Debra Coco.
Hi, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Um, I just want to say thank you, first of all, for inviting me to join you on your show, The Legends. I feel really honored about that. And yes, we are like family. We come from BronxNet, we're part of the BronxNet family, and I'm happy to join you today.
Okay, so we're just going to kick it off like this, Deb. You wear a lot of hats, and I am very impressed with the journey and the path that you've actually taken, from the past and actually what you're doing now futuristically. So we want to take it back to actually and let it to the viewers and let them know a little bit about Debra Coco. Now, so we're going to talk about where you came from, how you started, and some things that actually initiated you to be actually to the point of where you're at right now.
Okay. Well, my name is Debra Coco. I grew up in the Bronx. I grew up in Marble Hill houses on 225th and Broadway. And I've always been fascinated with entertainment. I mean, my father was an entertainer. I had a lot of uncles that sang and always performed, at family events. And I've always wanted to perform like a tap dance. I used to be like modeling, all anything that had to do with standing in front of a crowd, that was me. I always wanted to be involved, and I always wanted to showcase, my skills that I had from young. As I grew up, I ended up, going to college and everything like that. And I ended up going to school, and I got a degree in mass communications because that was like the thing that I felt that was most close to what I enjoyed. So I ended up going to Lehman College, actually, and I graduated with a degree for mass communications. I interned at BET through Lehman College, where I had the chance to work on 106 in Park with Free and AJ, and I met so many great stars there. And I was just like, boom, like this is it. This is really what I want to do. And in the interim, during that time, I was also kind of like on the party scene a little bit. So I always ran into all these people that, sang, rapped, that had a lot of different talents. And I was like, you know what? I felt like I had a pretty good speaking voice. And someone had introduced me to Blog Talk Radio. So I was like, good, I can do that from home, at my convenience. And so my show first started out 10 years ago on Blog Talk Radio. I think you can still go on Blog Talk Radio and catch some of my shows. I think it's still listed there on the site. So I started running into all these legends myself, like Grandmaster Caz, Mighty Mike C, Reggie Reg Crash Crew, like all of these legendary people that I felt were legends. And they were legends. They basically started hip hop.
Right.
And I started interviewing them from my home. So the show just grew and grew. And then eventually a couple of my friends were like, on Blog Talk, it's only audio. People couldn't see you. And my friends are like, oh my God, people need to see your smile. They need to like see, who you are and what you look like. So then I moved over to Ustream. So I did Ustream for about a year. I did something like in the basement where I had like a little booth where the artist could go and perform right there in the booth. I had a female DJ and I would sit on the couch. I would talk about industry news and then we would get into the guests. And then after doing that for a year, I actually moved over to Cablevision. I moved over to BronxNet. And I started to do the shows there live in the studio.
So, when you're actually hosting, what type of energy are you actually trying to actually give your audience? And what kind of energy do you actually want them to give back to you?
I mean, I normally feed off my guests, but I'm always excited. Like
Right.
it's always high vibes, you know.
Uh-huh.
My show is basically positivity. I highlight the achievements and the aspirations of my guests, their goals. So I always try to give positive energy because I want that to come across on camera. And I consider myself to be a high vibing person naturally anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I want my guests to feel good, you know. And as they're sharing their stories, I want them to feel good about all the things that they've done, you know,
Right.
no matter how big or how small. Because you know, some people don't have the I don't want to say guts, but they're too shy to
Right.
showcase themselves. And you know, so when you come sit down with me, I love to smile, I love to engage, and I love to make my guests feel welcome. And I'm hoping my audience picks up that same vibe as well.
Okay. And so my question to you is that due to the fact that you like to host, anything else that you actually like to do besides that, any different gyres or any other platforms that you actually are involved with?
Well, I do like to write. I mean, I wrote for a couple of magazines. My goal is to probably write a book, hopefully by next year, by 2020. But I do write and I do act. I love acting. I actually picked up on that maybe about 3, 4 years ago, doing
Right.
different projects. So that's my one of my goals that I'm actively pursuing right now is acting while I'm still hosting a show.
Okay, and that's very cool, because we have a little surprise for you in the middle of the show with
Oh,
Debra.
you do? Oh, you
Actually
do?
doing a little something, you know. Um,
Okay.
how do you actually incorporate your guests, while you're out there? Because, I'm a host as well, and I'm not really being trying to be selfish or anything, but I have to really deal with guests that really make sense. You understand
hmm
what I'm saying?
hmm
So what's your term on that?
Well, I feel like just give me the mic
Mm-hmm.
is it encompasses everything, so to speak. You know, I feel like I can speak to an artist, I can speak to an author, I can speak to someone in the community. Because what I'm actually doing, the concept of the show is
Mm-hmm.
passing the mic so you can tell the world who you are.
Right.
So that could be a little bit of anybody. You know what I
I
mean?
hear that.
Yeah, because I didn't want to kind of like lock myself in. And I knew that I was around so many diverse people that I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to have them share their stories on the show. So I wanted to have a title or a theme for the show
Mm-hmm.
that would embody all of that, you know, where I could talk to everyone and it would kind of fit in with the theme of the show.
Okay. So how did you actually get started with that show?
I got started because an individual had reached out to me from Vegas.
Right.
She saw me, she was looking at my pictures and stuff on Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
and she was like, I would love for you to co-host with me because you know so many people and you're out and you have a great personality. She was like, I would love for you to host with me, but the time frame didn't actually work out with the time difference and when she did her show. And she kind of sparked the light in me. I was like, okay, well, you know what? I could do my own show. You know, I could
Right.
actually sit down and put together because working at BET, I understood the production part of it
Right.
without being certified. You know, I understand what it did to do a timeline, a script, and how to, you know, to incorporate a full show.
Right.
Because you know, editing and all the things that I learned there. So I just decided to do it on my own, you know.
And
And
that's
my
a good
most
thing.
popular song was Just Give Me the Light by Sean Paul at the time. So I kind of used that and twisted it and
Right.
came up with Just Give Me the Mic, right?
Okay. Any singing production?
I have.
Okay.
I
Let's
have
let's
sung
uh,
before,
let's talk,
yes,
let's
yes.
talk about that. Let the viewers know about your versatility as far as singing, stuff like that.
Well, I did sing 2 songs about 2 years ago. I
Okay.
co-collaborated on some songs, and I actually do plan on in the summertime trying to go back in the studio and see if I could do one more, see if I could do a track. I want to be as diversified. I want to go back into dancing. I used to dance a lot when I was younger,
Right.
so I want to take some more dance classes. So yeah, no telling what's going to be aired on Just Give Me the Mic coming up soon. I might have a music video and
Mhm.
you might see me do a choreography of some dance moves or something. Who knows?
Right. So we both do this, And I'm a father, I'm a grandfather, and I'm a great grandfather.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Does it actually collide with your personal life?
It does. I mean, I think it did more so a couple of years ago when I had to actually go to the studio. One time in my life, I was running Just Give Me the Mic from 2 different locations in a week. So
Right.
it was like Tuesday nights, I would have to be in the Bronx. And then on Fridays, I would have to be in Manhattan. And then when you do have my children were small at that time. So I
Right.
had a full-time job. I had my family, you know, and 2 of my children were small. So trying to find a babysitter, making sure meals was cooked,
Right.
trying to make sure homework was checked, you know, and all those things. It was definitely quite a balance and a challenge at the same time to try to make sure everything fell into play. But with the help of my family, and they understood how passionate I was about
Right.
doing the show, it was like, you know, the elders in my family kind of worked with me
Mhm.
and helped me out. So, you know, when you really want to do something, believe me, things will make a way for
Oh,
it to
most
happen.
definitely. Well, you see,
Yeah.
I go through that challenge due to the fact I'm very family orientated, and I
Mhm.
have my own recording studio, so I don't have to be running all around the place. And
Right.
I'm working on my video productions as well. I just actually just started. Well, I just created a new podcast studio, which I'm also
Nice.
taking it to a whole different level as well. So, and another thing I actually forgot: happy belated birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. I had one of the best birthdays this year that I had in a long time.
Right.
I was like, I'm going to travel. I'm just going to be safe. And I was safe, and where I went was very safe. So I had a wonderful time. So thank you so much for that.
Okay. And we're going to take a time break out right now, and we'll be right back with Debra Coco.
Yes.
It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
My assignment, my calling is to inspire, uplift.
You have to make sure your people are partying.
All I want to do is just bring joy to the dance floor and watch people dance.
Tino.
Right. Good job. Does anybody have any questions for Ocean?
Yo, how you get to move your mouth like that?
Oh. I assume your tardiness today is because you was up all night practicing your performances, right? I guess you could just come straight to the front of the classroom. Mr. Washington, what's that?
It's my rhyme that I wrote.
You cannot use a piece of paper for your performance today. Your performance is supposed to be memorized. Have you ever seen any of your favorite performers on stage using a piece of paper? Now I need you to put that paper away and perform for us, or you get enough today.
I say, yo. 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 Yo.
Yo, you whack.
All right. Look, just remember that our performances are from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. So make your performances your best. Okay? End the class, guys. See you tomorrow. Wait, we have to talk, Mr. Washington. Okay, Mr. Washington, I just need to know, Is everything all right with you at home? Because you came to school late and you was unprepared. Is something bothering you?
No, Miss Washington. Uh, there's nothing wrong. I just had a little stage fright. That's all.
Okay, I can understand that, but I need you to understand that this is a pilot program and we're looking for sponsors for our music and arts. So I need everyone in this program to take this seriously. I can't have you coming in here messing that up for us. So maybe you should try again next semester.
No. I could do this. I promise. I just had a little stage fright. That's all.
Okay. All right, well, look, in order to stay in this class, you know this grade here counts for 50%, right? Your performances. Your performances are 50% of your grade. You're averaging a B. And you know you have to bring that up to a B plus in order to stay in the program. So I need you to really take this seriously. And tomorrow I'm gonna have you go first. So I need you to be on time and to be prepared for class tomorrow. Okay? All right, see you tomorrow.
It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
We got some fun people in the house tonight.
This is our house.
Nice. Thank you for that nice surprise.
Well, you know, that's what it's all about. It's about bringing you out, you know?
Yes,
But,
I
we're
appreciate
back,
it.
and my name is Tyrone Lowe. We're back with my show, The Legends, and my guest is Debra Coco.
And I'm a legend. I feel like I'm a legend, right? I'm on the legends, right?
So if you're not a legend, you're going towards that legendary legend. You know what I'm saying? So, but you know, my show's not just based on just actual legends. I versatile to the part of upcoming artists and things like that. You know, so because I'm
No,
not.
but people call me that, and I'm like, wow, like
Well,
where did the time go?
I'm calling
You know?
legendary. I'm calling legendary DJ. You know, so hey, if they want to perceive me that way, fine with me. So, Deborah, let's talk about the teenage story. A teenage story because it has a very, very powerful thing about it, and I want you to share it with your viewers.
Okay, first I have to say thank you to Streetline Video for letting me be a part of that wonderful production. The way it was presented to me in the beginning was a show like Fame. The movie is actually based around students, children, moving up. All the children that were part of the show basically had skills. You know, they could sing, they could dance, and it worked around, showing, like, storyline of the main character, Justin. I forgot his name in the show, but what he was going through at that time. So I don't want to give too much away, but you should definitely watch it. It's about a group of talented children, and it's highlighted around Justin. He is the main character, the gentleman that you saw running. I was the music teacher, and I'm trying to gear the children to be focused. We need money for this program, and it evolves, again, around Justin. So check it out. It's on YouTube, and it's called A Teenage Story, as you saw, and it is a great movie.
You know, you'll go ahead and support her with this because we need this. You know, especially the younger generation, and I feel that this actually corresponds with a whole lot of things that's going on now to
Yes.
actually encourage or discourage. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
So Deborah, what is Debra Coco doing these days? Now, I think you did something else, some other type of movie production. And do you want to collaborate on that?
Well, right now, I actually have 3 new scripts that I'm working on.
Okay.
I'm working on a pilot show. I can't give the name of it yet. I signed a confidentiality, but I love it. It's very intense, and I will be the lead character in that. And it is going to be, all I can say is very intense. And the thing that I love about it the most is that I'm showing a lot of different range, right? I'm not just like, It's just not monotone. I'm a parent. I have 3 children. They have issues. Their children have issues. And I'm basically forced to make a life decision, a decision that's going to change my life, you know? So it is very deep. And the topics that we're going to be covering in this movie is going to be very, very deep. So you're going to see some tears, some laughter, some screaming. It's a lot going on. And also for those who don't know, I do play in a web series called Juicy, which I play a bad woman, a bad girl. So I have like a little alter ego in that I play, and I love it. You can also catch that on YouTube. Situationship is about relationships with females that with couples, and that's more like a comedy slash. I don't ever want to be in those type of situations.
Okay.
type production. And I have another script. It's going to be the Home Records Club. You can already see what that's going to be about. I'm going to be filming in May. And another one, Story of Breeds, which is like an animation. So I'm just very thankful and grateful to be a part of so many different productions at this time, and I get to show some range, and I get to grow as an actress. I've done a couple of commercials, and I just did a commercial on Casting Networks and a couple of different networks that I've been selected to do some other roles, paid productions, which I'm very happy about.
That's great.
Yeah. So I've actually done one that paid me pretty good, and I'm still waiting for that to come out.
Okay.
But yeah, things are really evolving in that other aspect, that other lane that I've created for myself. So yeah, I'm really enjoying things at this time.
My question to you is, in this industry, we're always having upcoming artists.
Right.
Is anything that you can actually encourage them to actually feel worthy about themselves, in this industry? Any suggestions for them?
I would suggest for any new and upcoming artists that if you are passionate about it and this is what you really want to do, there are loads of information on YouTube, like everywhere. Make sure you do your research. It is very important to do research. And it's very important to listen to the stories of shows like The Legends and like my show and other shows to hear some of the stories that other artists tell that may have been out before you. It's very important also to have your paperwork in order. If you're to the point where you can get a lawyer, like when you're presented with contracts, to make sure you have the right eyes looking over these fine prints and these details in these contracts to make sure that most of it is in your best interest. That's another thing. And try to be well-rounded, know the business, learn how to do great interviews. So no matter where you're at, if you're presented with a mic to do an interview, you can present yourself in the best possible light. I've spoken to a lot of different artists that really don't have good interview skills, and this is your chance to tell people about yourself and who you are. So make sure that you're always prepared for that. Make sure that you're always prepared to perform, because you never know where opportunities may present itself, and you might run into Teddy Riley or somebody in the street. You need to be ready to do a song right there on the spot, because you might not get another opportunity, So just be ready for those unpredictable opportunities so you can do your best whenever that time comes across,
What I admire about you most is that you have a sense of spirituality which actually glows on you. And I think that's a very good thing, because to be a parent that wears a whole lot of hats and have the responsibility you do, you can hardly tell that you're actually struggling or, things like that. It's a good thing.
Yes.
What I want to say to you is that, maybe to my audience, is that you're watching a show and she's giving you all the details. And this is a simulation of something that you might have to go through. And, you might not have to even go through it. You might be able to override it, and, it's a good thing that Debra's actually giving you the jewels, about she's coming from, where she's going, and where she think that you just might need to go as well without have to, going through obstacles like that,
Right.
So my question to you, Deb, is like, how has this pandemic been to you?
Well, this the COVID pandemic actually worked out pretty good for me, in a business aspect, because I worked from home. And working from home and being able to record from home, I found it to be a little bit more convenient,
Yeah,
even though I actually miss being in the studio
I
sitting
miss it too. I
across.
really
I
do.
miss the energy sitting right there with the
Right.
guests.
Uh-huh.
But it has opened up. I never really used the Skype feature too much. So it opened up the opportunity for me to speak more with people all over the world. I think being in a studio and me trying to use the studio to the fullest, I wanted to have my guests come in. So I didn't really concentrate too much on talking to people outside of my
Right.
area.
Mhm.
So now I'm getting more diversified, talking to people from Cali, Chicago, Atlanta, like my
Right.
range has opened up a lot more. So, I mean, you just have to learn how to maneuver
Mhm.
during times of like this pandemic definitely opened up your eyes to what you couldn't do or how you can best move forward.
I call it time of redemption.
Right.
It has made me challenge myself even more, due to the fact that I work at home too. So, any shout outs?
I just want to give shout outs to everybody who ever watched Just Give Me the Mic, was a guest on Just Give Me the Mic, and supports the show and what I do. 10 years long, I've been doing this, and it feels like I just started yesterday. The time just flies so fast when you're doing something that you love to do. And I'm a one woman show. So shout outs to everybody. I can't really say one woman because I do have other people that help me at events. I do host events for other people as well as my own events. And that's really the time to connect. But I just want to give a shout out to anybody that's ever supported what I do. And I want to give shout outs to those who are out here following their dreams, overcoming obstacles and challenges, and still pushing forward.
Okay. Well, Deb, it's been a pleasure just having you on my show. Thank you for being very informative, and thank you for your symbolism. You
Thank
know,
you. Thank you.
let that glow keep shining. And
That's the goal.
this has been another T-Lo Video Productions, and my guest Debra Coco was my guest, and hopefully one day I might be her guest. Who knows?
Yes, let's do that.
But in the meantime, let's just wrap this up. Everybody have a very nice day and stay tuned for another T-Lo Video production.
Bye.
It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
We got some fun people in the house tonight.
This is our house. It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.